So I firmly believe that it is not just the big things that make up our money future. It's the little things, the day-to-day things that we do that affect how we're going to do with our finances long term. So today I'm talking about 5 frugal things that I've done recently that are going to better my financial future. Hi friends, I'm Sarah, also known as Budget Girl here on the internet, and I make videos every single week about how to manage your money on any income, pay off debt, and build the life of your dreams on less. If you want to learn how to do all the frugal things and master your money, go ahead and subscribe and hit that like button. So today, if you're not familiar, is another episode of 5 Frugal Things, where I talk about recent money wins and fails. Because, as I said before, it's not always about like the big decisions, which job to take, where to invest. It's about the little day-to-day things and how you handle how money goes in and out of your life daily, weekly, monthly, that can really add up long-term and build the financial future that you either want or that you're not so satisfied with. So, in that line of reasoning, my first frugal win is that I got a small raise of almost $2,000 a year, and I am sending the entirety of it to my house savings fund account. If you haven't watched my video on my next big money goal, I will link it below. I am interested in purchasing a multifamily property and house hacking it. So living in one side, renting out the other, and using the rental income to pay the mortgage, thereby freeing up a ton of my money to build wealth with. So I will link a video on that below. It's a very exciting thing, and I can't wait to tell you more about it and for you guys to follow along with me. My second frugal win is that I used and canceled a free trial. Now this may seem very minor, but I consider myself a bit of a free trial connoisseur. I have not had to pay for one of those, as in it hasn't rolled over and I've had to pay for it in quite a long time, but that's what they're for, right? That's why companies do free trials, is that they hope you'll A, love the product or service so much that you'll want to continue and pay for it forever, or B, and this is what happens a lot, that you will forget that you signed up for the free trial and they will get to charge you even though you aren't using the product or service. So I love a good free trial. I think they're amazing. I love to utilize them, and I love to get my free money's worth out of it and then cancel it if it's not something I want to spend on long term. So this particular free trial was to Adobe stock, and I actually needed a image of a cupcake for my recent trip to FinCon in Washington, DC. I like to make a little sticker that is money related every year to hand out to people so that they can, remember me, and it's also a little free advertising. And I had the idea to do this money thing is a piece of cake and put it on a cupcake, but I also needed an image that I could legally use the rights for. Now, I found the image and it was like $30, and I did not want to pay that. However, with a free trial to Adobe Stock, I got 10 free Adobe Stock images with the licensing for them, so I could legally use them, totally legit, totally above board. And what I did was I logged in, I downloaded the cupcake that I liked, and then I wrote a note in my planner about when the free trial ended and when I needed to download those 10 images by. Now, an extremely smart person would have gone in and pulled those 10 images right then and then canceled the account, but I wanted to really utilize it, so I spent the next couple of weeks thinking in my head, like, what are some images that I could use for budgetgirl.com, which by the way is now live, linked below. I was able to transfer it from gobudgetgirl.com to budgetgirl.com. It cost a lot of money, but I think it's going to be worth it. And you should check it out, because like I said, it cost a lot of money. So, and it's also full of articles, resources, printables, and other stuff for you that is 100% free and will help you lead your best money life. So go check that out. But I wanted to make sure that I was utilizing those 9 extra free images and downloading things that I would actually use. So I marked in my calendar the day that I had to cancel it, which I actually usually lie to myself and tell myself it's a couple days early, and then I gave myself a week in advance. And when that week in advance came, I didn't have time that day, but the next day I remembered, I went in, downloaded the other 9 images, saved them to a folder, and at that point I had already planned some of the ones that I was gonna need for upcoming blog posts and videos, and I'll really be able to use those images. And then I canceled that sucker, which meant I got out for free. $10 a month is not a big deal, which is what they charge, but that $10 a month adds up. And a lot of us have subscriptions that we've signed up for and we're not using anymore that are just every single month taking money from us for something we're not using. So go in and cancel those free trials before they charge you. Go in and check your subscriptions and make sure that you are using them. And the best way to do it is the calendar trick. And if you're a digital person, go ahead and even put like an alert in your phone that says cancel the free trial today, and leave your login info where you write the, because it's no fun to have to figure out what you chose as your login info for that. That's almost cost me a few times. My next frugal thing is I actually got a subscription to the chiropractor. So I have a desk job, and I am what is known in the medical community as, what's the name for when you don't move a lot, the medical word?
Sedentary?
Sedentary. I am what's known in the medical community as mostly sedentary. Trying to work on that, but it's a fact, and I have some back problems. I have some back and shoulder pain from it, and for a while I was going through my insurance to a chiropractor and having to take an hour off of work every single week and use my lunch break and walk out to my car, which is half a mile away from where I work, and drive across town in lunch traffic and then try to get in and out within 2 hours and get back to my desk. And it was really not fun. And I was also paying a $35 copay for the pleasure. So that wasn't fun. And also the chiropractor was only open during the hours that I was at work, so it was never convenient for me to go. It always took forever, and I went 4 times or 5 times in 1 month once, and that cost me so much money. It really blew my budget. So I actually was really hurting on a Saturday, and I found online a walk-in chiropractor clinic. I was looking for it, and they actually had a subscription service, and they don't use insurance, so I have to pay entirely out of pocket. But, and it's called The Joint, by the way. Apparently they have them all over the place, and I'm not sponsored in any way, but for $70 a month subscription, you can go 4 times included in the subscription. They're open until like 7 or 8 p.m. most days. They're open on weekends, so I can go after work instead of having to take an hour off of work in addition to my lunch break, which was also costing me money in the form of time off. And any times that you have to go above the 4 times that are included is only $10 per visit, which is actually saving some money. Hi! Jacob took me to the chiropractor the other day. It's also very quick, whereas before I waited for like 45 minutes in the doctor's office. So that was a way for me to save money on some chiropractic care that I hopefully don't need long term, but definitely need right now, and it's really improving my quality of life. And that's worth $70 a month for me for a couple months for the convenience, and also so that I don't have to do that whole rigmarole with leaving and going to my insurance chiropractor. Wonderful, huge money savings. I can't believe I'm recommending a subscription, but this one, it's hitting all the check marks for me. Also in the medical field, my next frugal thing is that I started using a website called GoodRx for some medications, and I saved like $400. So Jacob and I both got bronchitis last month, and we both went to the urgent care, and they prescribed us a bunch of meds, including this inhaler, which is called albuterol, which is $300, which makes me twitch. However, if you go to this really fun website called GoodRx.com, which once again, not sponsored in any way, they have in-phone coupons. You can just bring it up on your phone and show it to the pharmacy outside of insurance that will supplement your current insurance and make it a lot cheaper. It made this $15, which is more reasonable. So we were looking at a combined pharmacy bill when we both had bronchitis and sincerely needed medicine of think it was like 600 bucks. And after using, you look up the medicine, so you type in albuterol and then just scroll to which pharmacy you're using, you know, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Target, whatever. And it's different prices at each place. You could either go to the pharmacy where it's the cheapest or use your regular one. You just show them your phone, or you can print it off and they deduct that amount. And honestly, I'm not entirely sure how it works, but it saved me a ton of money on this particular illness. So huge fan of that. I will link that website down below, not affiliated, but it's honestly worth checking every single time you have to fill a prescription. Every single time. I already generally check any prescriptions that a doctor might give me for like an online coupon. If you just say it's this, type in albuterol coupon into Google, and sometimes the company that makes the medicine will have some sort of discount card that you can use for free. But it's worth putting it into GoodRx. Abso-freaking-lutely, and I hope you guys save a ton of money by using that tip. And the final thing that was a frugal win kind of fail is that I paid for a car inspection for a car that I was considering buying. My trusty old Kia Rio is at the end of its life, and last year I saved $5,000 into a sinking fund for when I would need to replace her. And I had a mechanic recently tell me that a whole lot of expensive stuff is about to go wrong with her, and I believe him. So I've been shopping for a new car. I have been looking online, you know, Marketplace. I went to a couple of used dealerships, but pretty much all of them post online now. This was a private sale. I convinced the guy to pull a Carfax on it, and then I still wasn't positive, so I had him take it to a mechanic near him. I live in College Station, he was in Houston. I didn't want to drive to Houston until I was sure that I wanted the car. So what I did was I asked where his address was. I found a mechanic shop that was close to where the seller lived. I called them and arranged to pay over the phone for an inspection, top to bottom. It's called a pre-purchase vehicle inspection, where they run the VIN, they check out all the computer parts, they lift it up, look at everything, make sure there's no frame damage, any sort of funky stuff going on, and they essentially will generate a report for you that says, here's the stuff that's wrong with the car, here's the stuff that might go wrong with the car, here are some things that you might be concerned about, and here's how much this car would cost you additionally in repairs if you were to purchase it. It is 1000% worth the money, because that mechanic came back to me after I paid him $125, which was very expensive, by the way, and all you have to do is convince the seller to go bring the car to the shop for an hour or so until they do it. They're usually willing to do that since they're not having to pay anything out of pocket. The mechanic got back to me and said there was about $1,200 worth of work that needed to be done on that car, and a couple of safety issues that I definitely wouldn't have been able to figure out in a test drive. I'm not car savvy enough to be able to do that type of inspection myself, and several of these were like vastly internal, undercarriagey stuff that I'm like, it was blue, it was pretty. I would not have been able to figure out from a test drive. So I ended up actually not buying that car. So some might think that's $130 down the drain. I say that's $130 that saved me at least $1,200 and potentially a kind of lemon-ish car. So sad that I didn't get to get the car, but very, very huge win that I didn't purchase a car that was then going to cost me more outside of my budget. I've actually done this multiple times, including with the car that I just purchased, and I will have another video on that coming out very soon, or if it's already come out based on my editing schedule, I will have it linked below. And it was absolutely, once again, worth the money on this car. The mechanic said, excellent deal. So I absolutely want you to do that. I also have a blog post linked below on how to find the best deal on used cars if you are interested in that and you've been car shopping. And once again, I said I'll have a video up very soon, or linked below on my whole process of buying the car and getting the best deal. By the way, it's a salvage car, which is not as scary as I once thought, and is actually really wonderful and saved me about $3 grand. So all that coming at you, so stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss it. Hit that like button if you like Frugal Wins, and go ahead and leave me your recent Frugal Wins and fails below. Have you ever used GoodRx? What about bought a subscription to a service that you sincerely needed? And have you ever forgotten to cancel a free trial and been charged? Cop to it. Come on, cop to it. We've all done it. We've all done it. All right. I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. It's frugality time.